So let's take a quick look at some of the options we have in setting up business licensing in CitizenServe. And so we're looking here at an example portal. This is the citizen portal where your citizens, businesses, contractors, and stuff can actually go and create an account. They can register, and we can choose which information's required here and have other information that we collect, possibly state license numbers, or have them upload submittal documents related to their registration and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at what licensing looks like. The portal is actually 100% configurable in HTML, and all of this can be controlled. We can set up links, colors, fonts, graphics, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to click on apply for a license, and I've got to log in here, so I'm going to log in. And here I'm going to pick an address. You can pick different requirements for different permit and license types, whether it's got to be a verified address or just an address that's typed in, or you can also have no address at all related to the permit or license. So that's an option you have to set up. So I'm going to say Jim's Bar and Grill as my example business. And here I can pick the different options that are based on your jurisdiction's license types. And so these are the ones that were broken up here in this example. And I'm going to say accommodation and food services. And this is going to allow me to pick my NAICS code, which is fairly common in business licensing. And I'm going to say I'm a drinking place here. And we can click on this ... here, and it will give us our tax class, and that's automatically going to be added to the license based on what I pick in terms of the license type and the NAICS code. So in particular, the occupational tax in Georgia is based on a set of classifications which determine the tax rate. And I think there's about 8 different classes, and each NAICS code has a class. So we can also pick a secondary NAICS code in this example. So here I can pick my different contacts, people, you want to have emergency contacts and corporate contacts and stuff like that in your business. And I can put in my mailing address, and we'll skip over some of this. I just want to show you some of the features. Here we can say, how are you applying? And they have a kiosk option here and things like that. Type of business is sometimes important. We're going to collect information as the legal name of the business, federal tax ID numbers, Georgia tax ID numbers, other tax ID numbers in the system. There's some icons here that provide some additional information about those requirements. I can type some information in here too, and we can say, whether this is a residential business, whether it's internet only, and we can enter information. This particular license is based on gross revenue and number of employees. So those are important and required fields. If I say I have more than 11 employees, we're going to ask for more information like your E-Verify number and those types of things. Now, in this particular example that jurisdiction was interested in, if someone opened their business before applying, they wanted to be able to collect enough information to calculate the late fees and that sort of thing. So, here, if I was opening in a current year, it wouldn't ask me certain information. But if I said, I did open in 2012 and it's the first time I'm applying for my license, we're going to go back and say, hey, we'd like to see your and the application dynamically changes here. I want to go back and I want to see your 2012 and your 2013 information, and we're going to use that to calculate the fees and the late fees and the penalties for that. So that's kind of an example. And then we've got sort of some submittal custom fields here that are information, and we can click submit, and of course on the new CitizenServe portal you can save your application for later. So this is what we consider to be the citizen side of the application, and we're going to log off here and we're going to jump in and take a look at the staff side and how some of this stuff is configured. And we've got our example user here on Solo, and we'll log in and take a look at creating a business license on the staff side. And we didn't really add Jim's Bar and Grill. We're really focusing here on the types of options, focusing on NAICS codes and the types of options we have in setting things up. So I'm going to say 123 Peachtree, kind of picking the same address that we were picking before, and here we've got our address. And again, we've got different features where you can look at things on a map, and we can pull in boundaries and stuff like that. So that's a lot of features in CitizenServe that we're not talking about right now. So I'm going to pull up the same license, accommodation and food services, and this is what things look like on the staff side. So we've got a review process here. It's really a workflow route to approve the license, and we do it in-state license review, and there's a zoning review probably by the planning and zoning department, and then once the review is complete, we issue the license. So here we've got the same thing. We've got our NAICS code. We can see the tax classification for this. That automatically gets populated, and you can kind of see this is what the application looks like on this side here. But we're focusing on our NAICS codes and how they're configured. So we're going to jump over here to our finance department and take a look at their business license types. And here's my accommodation food services, and you can see here we've got the license, and I can click here and say, hey, I want to look at the fee structure. And we've got a zoning fee and a registration fee, and then there's, hey, you were operating before you applied, and the rates are basically set up over here where you can kind of see the different rates for the different classifications. But one of the things about CitizenServe and the fee tables is that you can set these up based on custom fields. So we have the NAICS codes as a custom field in the application, and we can pick off this list here of the NAICS codes if we wanted to pick directly. Alternatively, what we've done here is actually we go off of the tax class. So that makes things a little more straightforward in setting up the fee tables. So we, based on the NAICS code, we populate the tax class, and I'm going to show you how we did that. So this is the fee schedule. If we went off NAICS code, it would be probably more than 77 entries into the table here. But let's take a look at the custom field in the application itself. So I'll jump over here to customs, and we've got our accommodation food services license here, and I can go to my NAICS codes, and I'm going to say I'm going to edit this, and we can see here additional information about this field, and for each code type here we are defining the tax class it belongs to. So that's sort of how we arrive at the tax class based on what they select, and we can limit this based on the application type. So we're only showing the NAICS codes that are applicable to this license type. If I go to another one, let's say arts and entertainment here. If I look at theirs, I can see here that we've got a whole different set of codes, and they're all in class 7. So that's how we incorporate the NAICS codes into the business licenses themselves and use the NAICS code in the fee calculation. And this one's a little bit indirect because we're kind of using the NAICS code to determine the tax class for the occupational tax in the state of Georgia. But you can also go right from the NAICS code and calculating your fees